Good morning, everybody. Orange J here with another War of the Visions video, and it's time for another weekend update. Now, no special guests this weekend because I have real-life special guests over. My sister and her almost 2-year-old daughter have been hanging out with us and my 2-year-old son, so I'm exhausted. Let's just put it like that. 1 2-year-old is a lot. 2 2-year-olds is twice as much. It's been fun. He's had a great time, but no special guests or anything lined up for today's weekend update. Instead, I want to talk about what I hope to see through the rest of the road to worldwide, and more specifically what I expect to see. I want to just set some expectations for myself so the game can live up to those or not live up to those, something for me to talk about. And then we're going to do a lot of polls. I saw Degen had a video about this earlier, and I have almost 400 rare summon tickets right here. So over a year's worth of daily reward summon tickets. You could do 100 polls, so we won't take too long to do those. But then I also have a whole lot of these, like 10 poll, you are guaranteed polls, these sort of things. So I want to do those as well. Just clear them out of my inventory, get all those knocked out. Let's do it. And we're going to start with, well, you know what? We're going to start by checking how many Mog medals I have and how many Soul Stars I have before I do this. And then remember, if you have not spent your July login medals yet, those are about to expire, so cash those in. Whether you just need Blossoms of Paradise, which I could use a couple, or you want to get some shards, make sure you don't miss out on cashing in last month's things. Okay, I'm sitting at 3,500 Soul Stars, 2,850 Vision Stars. For UR Mog medals, I have 3,381, and for UR Vision medals, 8,562. 8,562. So I'm not doing too bad on these. Still, it's nice because for me, honestly, the game is cheaper for me right now than it has been in a while since we got all those tickets. And I know that's not the case for everybody because not everybody got as many tickets as I did, right? But when we got when I had like 1,600 essentially regular polls to do, and those gave Soul Stars and Mog medals, it hooked me up in such a big way that I just I pulled Raph and I pulled, not Sildra, Ferris just recently, and building them, I didn't have to use any Visior after the poll session. And that has been a welcome addition to the game. If you want to know just how much I'm spending on War of the Visions right now, since that is such a hot topic, last month, I spent about $300 on the game, and for me as a content creator and someone who's willing to spend money anyway, that's right in my budget range, and that's about what I'm going to plan on spending next month. Now right here, I got 40 more soul medals, 100 more vision medals, and then stars. Yeah, we got a lot of stars too. It does not add those up, I suppose, but I got a lot of stars as well. And it's the Soul Stars and Vision medals that make that possible. My plan, and if you're maybe a newer player watching this and you just kind of want to know what it's like for a veteran player, or especially a day one whale who's building units, I use all of the Soul Stars up until they cost 10 every single time. Then once it turns over into Mind Spheres, you can actually cash those in. You cash a lot of those in using the Mog Metal coins. So, I mean, it's really pretty easy for me to build Vision cards and units right now. I just pulled 2 corals, 2 of the new. Okay. All right. Well, there we go. If I hadn't pulled that already, I'd be well on the way to finishing it. Anyway, I want to talk, though, more than just talking about my Soul and Vision card stash and flexing those big numbers. I want to talk about what I expect out of the road to worldwide from here until it's live. Now, last week we got 2,000 Visior, and we got the makeup present for the tickets. Now, if you don't remember what that was all about, when they announced those tickets that were based on all the Visior we'd spent in the game, the picture that they showed had global exclusive units on it. Those units were not in those polls, so as compensation for that, they gave us essentially a 10 poll that was all guaranteed UR units. Was very nice for my alt account, didn't really do a ton for me on this account. Still, that was a good prize, and I think what I liked about that the most was it showed me that, hey, something as minor as putting the wrong unit's picture on an announcement for a reward got overcompensated for, in my opinion. But you know what? Overcompensation is never going to be hated. I don't think anybody hated getting a free guarantee. I just pulled Dark Odin. Oh my gosh, I can't pull that on my alt account to save my life. Look at these polls. That was a 4 UR poll. Okay, anyway, I got distracted. What I'm saying is, no one is ever going to be bent out of shape about getting overcompensated for something, or even maybe people thought that was proper compensation. Either way, a 10 UR guaranteed poll is something that players of almost every level in the game will pull and be like, you know what? That wasn't too bad. I actually kind of enjoyed that. I'm gonna turn skip animation off. And so with that in mind, whoever made that decision, I think should be in charge of making some more decisions in terms of compensation. I know the company is like re-meeting and having like brainstorming sessions right now, trying to figure out what Road to Worldwide should look like going forward. I don't know if they will be completely done with that little meeting by the time we get to this coming patch. I would not expect to see much in terms of news on Monday morning, because they typically don't announce things on Monday, like what banners are going to look like, necessarily what like the login prizes are going to be. They've yet to actually announce that on a Monday. So I think on Monday, what I would expect to see is just what we're getting next week. And I wouldn't be shocked if it was summer. I think summer's dropping sometime in the next month or so, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that. But what I do hope that we see this Wednesday is the continuation of the Hiroki's gift, plus a little bit more. So what do I mean? Now, last week we got 2,000 Visior. I felt like a lot of people were very happy getting 2,000 Visior and one other thing. Now, last week, the and one other thing was a producer's letter essentially saying, sorry we messed up the first ones and we're rethinking it. That was fine for and another thing once. You get one apology letter as your additional prize. From now on, what I'd like to see, or what I would anticipate seeing, is some Visior. 2,000 a week seems pretty good. And prizes, right? Like some kind of Magicites, antlers, because like Magicites, and I know a lot of veteran people, I say Magicites and they like roll their eyes at this. I'm telling you, for newer players in this game, if I'm trying to keep them in mind, Magicites are tight. I can only level like 3.5 espers on my new player account. It is definitely something holding me back. So a prize like Magicite would really target new players and make them feel like, hey, I get that a lot of like veteran players are kind of shaken up about this whole thing, but I just got hooked up with something I need. I feel pretty good. But then you also need to give something to veteran players that makes them feel good as well. So in that case, I would say antlers. You could not go wrong. You give out some UR antlers, even if it's just like 1 or 2 plus some other leveling materials, that's going to make your veteran players feel really good. Antlers and blossoms continue to still be a bottleneck for so many people. I know there's a person on my Discord who I used to be, I'm not going to call him out, but I used to be in a guild with him a long time ago, been a friend of mine in game forever, and he builds, I feel like he builds about every unit he has. And even though he's been playing since I believe day 1, he's actually running out of blossoms, and he's constantly out of blossoms. So for the collectors out there, or more than just the collectors, the people who play the game and like to build what they have, Blossoms of Paradise will absolutely stop you from building a lot of units in the game. So more blossoms would be nice. Also, with the condensed nature of what we're running into right now, something I'm running out of, I say running out of, something that my stockpile isn't high enough on both accounts, Rainbow EXP cubes. 100 or so of those every week, again, just to make up for the ones we can get in the game every week through the Wayfarer's Chamber. That would be nice. And if you can't see kind of the direction I'm going into right here, I think when you're thinking about compensating for time missed, what you should do is figure out what people are missing because they're missing that time, and a little bit more, just to ease the burden a little bit. So what are people missing? They're missing Visior. That's obviously been the like #1 talked about thing. We got Visior last week, and I felt like a lot of people were like, step 1. That's step 1. Good. So continue the Visior to make up for the missed days, but then think about all of the stuff people who play the game every day have access to. And I mean things like the Wayfarer's Chamber, which is a big deal. Like the Wayfarer's Chamber, the skip missions in the guild barracks, right? Not the guild barracks, although the guild barracks gives us shards. A good way to make up for that might be Chocobo Expedition tickets. One of the best changes to the game in a really long time as far as friendliness to players has been the 30 Chocobo Expeditions per day. But I know, for example, on my new player account, that's not something I can take advantage of all the time. I'm always out of Chocobo Expedition tickets. And so right now I'm starting to try to stockpile some up. So the next time I have to go pull a new unit, I can, go make use of that Chocobo Expedition again. But Chocobo Expedition tickets would be a really nice thing to give out. So I think, and I'm just pulling Eliza over and over again. I'm trying to just talk as I go to fill the airspace. Man, I did not pull New Laswell, or wait, not New Laswell, new Howlet is still like the one unit that I don't have that's a UR. Still, a lot of good stuff there. Visior is necessary every week, and I would expect that to keep coming. And then something else. And I hope what they do when they're thinking of something else is just consider exactly what people are missing out on days not being played and give that. Just give that, or something equivalent to that if you can't do exactly it. I would not expect them to mess with banners much, and I say that out of the concern for the game actually being live. I feel like when things have been tried to mess with for a while, like, I still think the special shop is just broken, and I feel like as we're transitioning to maybe a new team or new people on the team working on the global game, that it's just been a bit of a struggle. So I would not expect to see maybe anything new in the special shop this week. Maybe we don't see anything new in the special shop for a month. It could be. I'm going to keep crossing my fingers and hoping for it because, like I said, I do have a budget for War of the Visions every month, and I want to spend that money in the game. I really do. Like, I look forward to polling. I look forward to building stuff and being able to spend money to accelerate that process. As somebody who, as a spender, it makes me feel good, right? It makes me feel like I'm the person who walks into the War of the Visions club and gets access to that like VIP room and orders everybody a bottle of champagne. And even though all the champagne goes to me, because I'm the one building the unit, I share my experiences on YouTube videos, which I'm telling you is a lot easier to do if I could spend money. A lot easier to do if I get to spend a little bit of money. So yeah, I don't know. This is a little bit of just me ranting about the game. I mentioned earlier that I was sick of talking about all of this, and I'm not actually sick of talking about the Road to Worldwide. I think Road to Worldwide is obviously like a really pertinent thing in the game and something that deserves and should be talked about a lot. I'm just sick of having the same conversation over and over again. Maybe that's like the teacher in me coming out, where if I have to explain something 19 times to a kid, eventually I'm like, why don't you just go sit somewhere else and like mull it over for a second, dude? And I feel like every time on like Discord or in YouTube comments, the conversations just tend to circle into the exact same thing. And I'm done with that. I'm ready to like see what they do next, and then I'm ready to judge that for what it is, and I'll just take that as it comes. So I really hope it's good stuff. There we go. Okay, guys, thank you for watching. This is just kind of a random little poll video right here where I just talk about the game. Hey, more than anything else, thank you all for watching my channel. Love you guys. Have a good weekend. Peace.